Sorry, excuse me.
Actually, the other side's even better.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. Awesome.
So where are you saying the gap is where the flashing is down on the side?
Yeah, you see how the corners are right here? See where the rubber meets?
So yeah.
Well, on both sides, up top and down the bottom, there's nothing there. It's just probably about
It's like
quarter inch gap.
underneath the seal there?
Yeah, like you can see the corner right here. Yeah.
Wait and start in the riser room. Yes.
Well, I'm getting a couple preliminary things here.
We ain't trying to disturb them, but we're trying to get a little.
Okay. This is the main riser. Since you guys only have one riser, this would be the main riser that you would come to if you have an issue with the sprinkler system.
Okay.
For as in alarms, this panel here controls all the fire alarms inside the building. If any of the alarms were to go off, but if you had an air leak before the system actually trips, we close these main valves here. These are the main control valves. This is what turns the water off.
Yeah. Is it closed now?
Yes, ma'am. It's closed right now.
So pull it to the right?
Yes, ma'am. Pull it to the right till it
Right as
stops.
far as it goes.
Yes, ma'am.
That panel over there, is that something we have access to or only the fire department?
No, you have access to it. I mean, there's a key to enable and enable. Like if you didn't want anybody else to be able to access this panel, if you cut this switch off and remove this key, nobody can silence these alarms without this key. So if somebody left these in here, so if you guys can,
We probably did that so the fire department can.
Yeah, come and silence.
There's a panel a lot like that in the narthex.
So all you have to do is hit alarm silence, and that'll stop the alarms from the building and the strobes and everything. But if
And they don't want you to reset it till the fire
Yes, ma'am.
comes out.
Don't want you to reset it until the fire department comes out, because that means it was an issue with the system that causes that to go off. So if you come and close this, like if there's water flooding into the building, you close this first, and then this is the main drain that's on here. You open this on the second drain. Once you close this one all the way, then you open this one.
This is labeled the control valve?
Yeah, this is control
So
valve.
close the control valve first, and then
Yes.
close the main drain?
No, then you open the main
Then
drain.
open the main drain.
this
Oh, right,
This
the drain.
is usually closed to hold the pressure in. So this is what feeds the pressure into the system. You close this and then open this, and this will relieve all the pressure off the
pressure down.
system. So all the water comes out of the building through this one, rather than keep
Where
going
does the
in.
water go?
Through the it goes right on the back side of the wall there.
Okay.
It drains out, comes right on the back side of the wall.
What's that last bottom valve for?
This is a secondary control valve for this one. Like if this one doesn't hold, you can hear it seeping by. So you don't have to close them both as long as one of them holding. You can hear it as it seeps by, and you can just close this one. That was just like a secondary. And plus, if you had work to do on the actual backflow, you can shut it off down here. But whenever the system needs to be reset, I'm not sure if y'all actually supposed to do the resetting of the system, or just going over how to shut the system down. If you guys wanted to do maintenance on the system, like forcing to check all the low points and everything.
So is that something you recommend regularly to do?
Yes.
Okay, well, may as well learn how.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to periodically maintenance we need to do is monthly, quarterly, whatever, seasonally.
Alright. Yeah, but this gauge here, it usually reads about 100 psi, and that's the water below the clapper on the actual dry system. And this side, this gauge will usually be about 35 to 40. That's air, because the system usually stays charged with air until there's a leak or some sort of malfunction with the system. Therefore, it'll charge the system with water, because it'll give you a little time to
So you're saying all up in those lines up there is air
It's
until
air.
it detects a fire and
Yes.
then water comes through?
Yes, sir.
So you said that's 100 what?
It's usually around 100, 150
And what was the letters you said?
PSI.
PSI. Yes.
Okay. And that's 30 PSI?
This usually 35 to 40 PSI.
So what value should we be concerned about if it's more than 10 or 20 PSI above? Or below?
It'll actually send an alarm if it drops down below 30. This will actually give you a warning. It'll be beeping up front. Y'all have a panel up front as well. It'll say low air. That means there's an issue with the actual compressor, because the compressor should come on way before it actually starts to read low air. So it'll give you a heads up that something's about to happen with the system. So if you detect that, and the first thing it says low air, go ahead and come and close this valve.
Where will it say low air?
It'll on the
beep
panel.
in there?
Yeah, it should be beeping, and it'll show you the. You guys have a panel just like this one up front
In
as
the
well.
sanctuary?
Yes,
Or near the
it should.
sanctuary?
Yeah, it should be notifying that as well. It'll be beeping and it'll say low air, and you can come and close this valve right here until they find out what the issue is.
And call you guys?
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't know if we should call you or the fire department.
No, the fire department. If the fire department will dispatch automatically. You won't really have to call them.
Oh,
If
okay.
there's an issue and it triggers to alarm, they automatically come.
Okay.
So yeah, you call us to see what the issue is. We'll troubleshoot it until we find out why the issue is draining down.
So in terms of maintenance,
Yeah, in terms of maintenance, I can show you guys the actual.
Do you want to come in, Rick, and see the gauges or put the camera?
Can I give you guys a quick question on what I just told you?
Yes.
Okay.
A little test, okay.
If the system trips, what do we do first?
well, I mean, you said that we need to shut off the main control
Correct.
and then open the main drain.
Correct. Absolutely. That's it. That'll definitely get rid of the water from outside the building a lot faster than going inside the building. So if it trips out and floods inside the building, you want to stop the flooding inside and get all the water draining back out to this side. So that's right.
Okay.
That's absolutely right.
So
Now-
basically, if there's no fire but there's water,
yes, sir.
then
You
we
go
do
ahead and- yes.
Now,
go
what
ahead.
about? I mean, we haven't had it lately since you guys did some work, but the fire alarms used to always be beeping and stuff. I mean, are there occasions that it's going to beep and we're not going to want to drain this? I mean, I would feel reluctant to drain it just because I've had it.
Yeah,
I feel like every time it-
only if you're aware of there's a leak and not an actual fire would you drain it. Like I wouldn't drain it every time you hear the alarms going off. You want to at least know why the alarm's going off. You want to make sure there's no
So
fire
I want to
detected.
look at it and see whether it says if it says low air.
Yes, ma'am. If
then
it says low air, you just come in. You want to see why if it's showing low air. And this right here, you can call us if it's showing low air,
Okay.
and we can find and detect the leak. We'll troubleshoot it. System and try to find out where the leak is that's draining the air off. So the air it'll give you a heads up before it actually trips. That means the air is leaking out of the system somewhere, but it's not fast. It's usually like a slow leak, maybe a pinhole in the pipe or some sort. And we can detect that once we come back because we'll get in the attic and trace every piece of pipe.
Yeah.
But like for us in the maintenance on it, I can show you guys where the auxiliary drains and the inspector's test are. That's
Okay.
usually where we do all the maintenance on it.
is this right here related to any of it?
No.
So Ken, during these interludes, you should be singing or something.
I was thinking of what else can we do here to make this entertaining, but we're doing okay so far.
Getting sound with it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This phone's in the system on this side.
Okay.
That's usually where the auxiliary drain will be found in the farthest points of the system, just in case the water can't, exit the building fast enough on that side. We come and open these.
So you say if the water can't exit the building fast enough,
Yes.
what are we after here? What do you mean? Why do we want the water to exit?
Like if there's a false alarm and the system is just.
And the sprinklers start,
Yes.
and you're saying the only way to really stop that is to do what we've talked about,
Yes.
but there's still residual pressure and water, and so you're saying if it's still spraying out here and we've done everything over there,
You can open
then come over here and add another relief.
Yes, sir. All right, this is an inspector's test. What you do is usually this valve right here on the bottom stays closed, and this one stays open. So whenever you want to just try to bleed some of the water and stuff that condensates in the pipes, you close this top one, close it all the way as far as you can, so far as you can close it, and then you would open the bottom one, and you want to do that process like 3 or 4 times, but never leave both valves open. If you leave both valves open, it relieves a lot of the air pressure. You don't want that.
Right.
Close this one all the way.
So this
And
is
then
pretty
you
much
open.
like one of the lowest points on the system, so if there is any water condensation, it'll all
Yes, sir.
be in here.
Yes, sir.
The top
And
one
it-
is shutting
you-
off the air pressure, the bottom one lets that condensate
Yes, sir.
drain.
Yes, sir. And it basically just fills up this whole tubing right here with the water and condensation.
Is there any way to tell if there's any in there, like right
Yeah,
now?
yeah. You'll hear it. Right now we got the system drained,
Okay.
but right now you'll hear it once you let all the pressure out of this bottom side. You will hear the water coming outside.
I just wish there's a way to see without touching anything.
Oh.
Could you do it with a sort of a, like a strip that I've seen that on certain tanks of things. You have a little strip and you can see where the level
The
is
level
based on
of
the temperature or
condensation
something.
is?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
that'd be awesome. Actually, you had that. Yeah,
You
they
can
don't.
invent that, okay?
Yeah. And you do that same process at least 3 times, and that'll tell you. Because once this bottom one's closed, you can open the top one again. You'll hear the air or water or whatever is bleeding back through. You can tell the difference between the water and the air. It'll be a smooth, or the water have more of a trickling sound. And so once you open the top one, wait for all the air to fill up this cylinder, close it back, and do that same process again. Close the top one, open the bottom one.
And that's just draining outside somewhere?
Draining straight outside. Yes, sir. Straight out the wall.
So, and the way you're going to leave it is both of them closed?
Actually, just the bottom one's closed.
Just the bottom one's
Yes, ma'am.
closed?
The only time you close the top one is whenever you're starting to drain it.
Okay.
You have to do it 1 valve at a time.
And how often do you think we should do this?
Every 3 or 4 weeks or so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not like an every day, every week thing. You can
So
you
at
can
least once
2
a
weeks.
month, maybe. For
Yeah,
the seventh day of the
I
month.
go twice a month.
You do twice a month.
Twice a
So
month.
it's
Okay.
normal.
Like every 2 weeks would be good.
It's normal to have some of that water. in
Yes,
the
sir. It's normal
line. And why is it a bad thing to have a little water in the line?
because when you have air that's pressurized at all time, if you get condensation at the bottom, which is the water at the bottom of the pipe, by air pushing down on it, it speeds up the actual resting process.
Okay. So
Yeah, so if you got water sits on pipe and it'll begin to rust, but if it's got pressurized pushing down on it, it just speeds up the rusting process.
Okay.
And then next you know that the bottom of the pipe it'll begin to have pinholes in it, and so that's what we don't want.
So would you say seasonally there'd be more water at different times of the year
Yeah,
collecting?
the hotter it usually is. The pipes sweat from being in the attic because it get up easy to 120 degrees in the attics. So while the pipes being that hot on the inside, it'll just gradually build up
And
condensation.
really, it's the air compressor out there that's pumping air in. That's
Yes, sir.
humid air.
Yes, sir.
And then that's going to condense.
Yes, sir.
I got you.
So this bottom one stays closed at all times until you get ready to test it, or until you get ready to drain it and do your monthly maintenance on it. You just close the top one and open the bottom one, release it, and then you do that process 3 times. So like if you leave both of them open, that lets too much air out
Yeah.
too fast.
Plus, you're not really helping you. You just want
Right.
to get that water out anyway. You
Yeah.
don't want to get the air out.
Right. So that's what you want to do. So this bottom one stays closed. Once you finish testing, you open your top one, leave the bottom one closed.
So
that'll be
did you
right.
do that when you were draining the whole line?
Yes, sir. We always
You
try
came
to.
over here? Yeah.
Yes, sir. We always try to check and see how much condensation is being collected and how much water we got. So we're adding another one because we found a low point in the system that really wasn't a way to get the water out of it. So we were adding the actual auxiliary drain on the second floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
what we're
can
doing.
show us where it
And
is.
that same process goes for that valve as well. It'll be the same style as this one, but it'll be on the second floor.
And you're installing that today?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that inside one of the rooms?
Yes, sir. It'll be on side of it. We're going to try to keep these valves at least a little higher so that way the kids won't bother the valves. I know you guys have a do not touch and everything on there, but that's what we're gonna try to shoot
I
for.
wonder, we do have, one of those rooms has a storage kind of closet space. They could go in there. I'm just trying to keep it out of people's, like you said, those are junior highs and high schoolers up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does this do?
Is there any other kind of valve that you can sort of lock or prevent anybody unless you have a key or something to, because I know they're gonna be playing with it. Somebody's gonna play with it. That's not good.
Well, we can put it actually above the ceiling and put your access panel right there.
That's
That's what the yard is. So it's called.
Well, maybe if it was just like above this height, you know, somebody would have to really go out of their way to do it.
to reach it.
Would that work?
Yeah, that probably.
See, the access panel, you just take it and just flip it down and go in and put your bucket, undo it, get your condensate out.
Oh, I thought it's not gonna go out, it's not gonna leak out, it's not gonna drain outside? It'll drain inside?
We can, but we have to run it down in that classroom.
Oh,
Because the main pipe's only about.
Maybe you can
A
show
couple
us when
inches.
you're
Yeah,
thinking about
yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, we can give y'all a rundown what we had planned, but if you just want an auxiliary drain, and then they can drain it into a bucket, you can do that, and then it'll be the access panel there. So they flip the panel down, put the bucket there, and drain the water, and then you can do it like that.
Yeah. Why don't you go show us?
Okay.
Any other regular maintenance besides the draining?
No, that's all right. That's fine. It's a simple process, but it can be a headache sometimes.
Is there really a lot of water on here?
No, it wasn't much water actually.
Maybe it got drained.
That's the last time we.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibility.
I don't know, Tony tell us like it was ever down there. I'm not sure. It's possible. Alan taught him a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he did. He got it. Yeah, he was recording.
We'll edit it out. No problem. No problem. Nobody will ever know.
Okay. Right here would be a square panel. Somewhere right in here. Be about that size. It's just flat, square. And it flips up and down. You reach your hand in there, take your bucket and drink. We have to do the other one. It goes down this wall. We have to drill a hole. We'll have to drill a hole here, come down, your valves will be right here, and then out on top of the roof.
But if you like the access panel, it's more concealed.
Yeah, exactly.
So the actual low spot is right up in there.
Right
It's,
above
it's
you, right
actually right around in here.
Yep.
So it would be a little 12 by 12 panel, maybe right here. And then we put that valve up in there.
and are either one of them?
Oh, yeah, you better reach.
You have to have a small ladder or some sort.
Well, the Deacon closet's right over there, so hopefully that's
Yeah.
easy. I'm just trying to think of something. We're gonna do it regularly, just not be too.
Yeah, but the thing is, this one you won't really have to do regularly. It'll just be whenever the system trips.
Oh.
Whenever the pipe's filled with water, that's be the one time you're doing this.
Because
this one will
since
be
it's pressurized, it'll all go out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But only, this is only after,
It
It tripped because of that whole water on that end because it's low.
Yeah.
It has no low point drain on it.
So there's not enough pipes for it to catch condensation, but if it fills the pipes up, it actually won't drain back out.
Oh, okay, I got you. So only after the whole system has been charged and full of water,
Yes.
and then later all that's taken care of, you still need to drain this because it's a low
Yes.
spot.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I think the panel. It's, first of all, that'll be less work.
Yes.
A little less expense.
Okay.
Concealed so you don't have kids messing with it. Not too hard. Don't have to do it that often.
Right.
Okay. I like that.
All right. You want to get the room number down? What is that? would be, what room is it?
104
Okay,
or
yeah.
senior, or 106. What do we call this?
I think it's 104, 106.
106. It used to be 2 rooms.
Oh, okay. Oh, they had made one room? Okay.
So, there's a panel is it a panel that's out there near the elevator?
Actually, this one's gonna be like, it's gonna be a plastic one,
Yes.
and it's gonna have what you do is it comes with holes in it, 4 holes and little holes, screw holes. And what you do is you screw it to the sheetrock. Screw it to the sheetrock, and then it's got a panel on the inside of that flips down. And that way you can reach your hand in.
So it's a frame and a panel.
Yeah.
Frame
all
and all.
hinged.
Yep. Yeah, sure is. That'd be something we'll have to go to Lowe's and pick up. But,
Yeah.
You know, screws to the sheetrock makes me a little nervous just because those things always get loose.
Yeah.
You know, if there's a way to put a little something on the
We'll
backside
put
of
something on
that.
the backside.
Yeah,
We'll get it, that'd be great.
We'll get a looking period for you.
And you say just the one, or were you talking about another one?
No, just that one. Just that one. That'll be all.
So, just let the water out of this when the system fills.
Yes, ma'am.
And the reason for that, you say, is it's low, and there's no way to really level that?
No, there's
To
not.
avoid
If
that?
if you take that piece up, you trap the branch lines. See, all the branch lines is coming back to the main. But they had what it looks like where they had an issue and they had to cut the pipe. And by it being a coupling there, it kind of created a slope on it. Because if it was just one pipe, it probably would have been all right. But they had to I'm not really sure why they had to cut it down.
You may have to cut it when they did this. There used to be a wall here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, but it definitely holding some water right there. It'd be best to add that drain. So we already got it tied into the pipe already. So now what we're going to do is figure out who is going to run it to access it. So the panel, that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, you just have to negotiate with the wasps.
Yeah, that's what we was doing up there a little bit ago. Trying to negotiate with the
They're
walls.
down there, you don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about them now. They're over here in the corner, so
Okay.
yeah, they wasn't happy with us up there. So man, I don't like this.
Mm.
Any other tips or thoughts or any other?
Is there another place that needs to be drained?
No, man, that's usually the two places right there. Because this ain't really a big system. It's actually a small system. Like that's the only one we were aware of.
So in terms of regular maintenance, you've already told us all about the drains. In the control room, what do you call that room down there?
Riser room.
Riser room.
Yeah.
Is there anything on a regular basis we should be looking at? I know you gave us the pressure readings, but
just check those.
just check those, just read those. So whenever we come to drain these, maybe go take a look. Yeah, they look like they're good numbers kind of things.
Yes. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's just a thing that some people they forget. People get busy.
Yeah.
And they forget to maintain that. No, because it's so simple. You
Sure.
don't really think about it often.
So the first symptom of having not done that well is that you're going to get pinhole leaks in the line, especially in low spots.
Yes, sir.
And because the water is sitting in there and rusting out.
Yes, sir.
And then if you forget it in the wintertime,
It freezes.
it freezes. And that causes, like y'all see, a big mess.
Yeah.
If it were gonna get down to 0, should we come up here and drain this thing anyway?
No, it shouldn't have any unless it's true.
We checked the grade, and the grade looks pretty good.
It does.
But you said
Size
that,
right here.
like during the summer and whatnot, there's condensation in the lines. Wouldn't that have a tendency to collect in this low spot?
It would be a very little amount.
Not enough. Even if that stayed there throughout the winter, that
I would drain it.
I'd drain it. Yeah, if you want, drain it and save.
So that's kind of what you're saying
Yes.
is maybe as we approach winter or get in the heart of winter, wouldn't hurt to just do one of those.
Yeah.
Yes. We got a procedure now, easy to do.
Yeah.
And this would be with a bucket because there's no.
Yes, sir.
no-
That takes it for this one.
And you wouldn't expect it to fill up. You wouldn't expect a gallon even, right?
No,
You'd expect
it'd be quart,
Half a bucket.
half a bucket, maybe a liter at the max. That's once the system's been charged with water. But like if the system hasn't charged anything, you may get like a couple ounces of water if you charge the condensate, because it's not really a really long line to collect it. But it'd be enough to do some damage to the pipe.
All right.
So did you get understanding of everything we had to do?
I think so. Every 2 weeks they need to go down there, they'll close the top one, open the bottom one, then close it, and open it back.
Yes, ma'am.
Let it drain
Yes,
down,
ma'am.
close it, open it.
Yes, ma'am.
And basically, if you have a guy out there checking, if there's no water coming out, you're done.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah. You're good. You're fine. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
And then maybe sometime December, at least not early January,
Yes,
it'll
ma'am.
get really cold.
Yeah,
We'll
check this one.
check that one. And if for some reason the fire panel's beeping and it says low pressure, I'll come out and turn that. I mean,
Well, if it says low pressure, we'll give you a call. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's called, well, if it's low pressure and that gauge is below 20, 25, you want to go ahead and close it because that means it's not far from it to trip. The system usually trip around
okay.
actually I don't really know the trip time on this building, but usually when it gets
How many panels?
35, 40.
35, yeah. About 25 that already been on trip.
No, usually about 20 and 25 it'll be on the verge of tripping.
Depends on how, boy, you got 100 pounds of pressure behind it.
I think I just finally understood about how that works. So basically, these little, like that red thing,
Yes.
when that burns, that lets air out of the line.
Yes.
When the air goes out of the line, that's what trips
Yes.
the alarm system. It says, whoa, you know,
We got a fire.
we got a fire, so it floods the lines with
That's
water.
right. And then wherever that bulb is going, water's coming right to it and nowhere else.
So,
you don't want damage all that.
Sure,
The
sure.
Fires on this end.
so if there's no problems, okay, no fire, but there are some air leaks in the line, we could get low pressure
Yes.
and it'd trip the system just the same, which we want to avoid.
Right.
So the idea is, right, and so that's why there's a monitor on the pressure system, and if it starts to get certain low, it'll alarm,
Yes.
and we'll get that at both panels, I guess.
Yes, sir.
And then you're saying, and we would shut the system down if we were concerned
Yes.
by.
If it was dropping, if the air was dropping a pretty good amount, and if the compressor's not keeping it up, or the compressor's not coming on,
To avoid water, we shut it down, and the way to shut it down,
would be to close.
oh, you're saying with the, oh, right, that's physically shutting off the water
Yes.
supply.
Yes, sir.
That's not the alarm, the panel, it's just the physical part.
As long as we can get somebody dispatched here that day, because you don't want to close it if nobody can't really make time to come out here that day.
Because then you're not safe.
Yeah, and then it's not protected, so.
You have to have a fire watch.
You don't want
So why do we close it and then you guys can't come out, do we open it back up?
That's a good question. You might want to get a fire watch. Get a fire watch out here and just,
They're usually pretty good at getting somebody dispatched up.
I have called. But maybe if that was the case, they would bump up the priority.
just if you ever have to do fire watch, just document it every hour before you leave it. That
And
way.
that's just a few people standing out here making sure.
Yeah, keep your records every hour.
And what if there's nobody in the building? Is it just fire watch if there's people in the building?
No,
or-
it's still fire
Yeah,
watch.
you don't.
Okay.
Basically, when we shut that off, we're unprotected against any fire.
Yeah.
So, and that's actually the whole, is that the whole building, or is?
Well,
is
the
it two
sanctuary
separate?
doesn't have, I don't think we have
No,
sprinklers
you
in the
don't have
sanctuary.
sprinklers on that building. It's just, it would be this facility on this
Oh.
side.
Okay. I guess you guys aren't important over there.
I think when that was built,
Wow.
they didn't have it.
But yeah, it's definitely something. It's a good system, to have a sprinkler system, because you never know. Sure.
But we know a lot of water comes out.
Yes, ma'am, it does.
It doesn't just sprinkle.
Yeah, a lot of water does come. So everybody's got a good understanding?
We got it right here.
All
Yep.
right, sweet.
Yep. Thank you both. Appreciate it.